I'll be telling you about the 6 common beginner Amazon FBA mistakes that you can avoid when you're selling on Amazon. Let's go. What is up guys, my name is Orinn and welcome back to my channel. If you're excited about this video, be sure to give this a big thumbs up right now. If you want to learn more about online businesses and all things entrepreneurship, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Number 1 is picking a product in a low competitive niche. Oftentimes when people are starting out and new, they try to avoid the competitive niches and products. Competition is actually a good thing. Competition means there is demand. If you find a product which has very little competition, then that can be good in certain ways, like you can become the best seller very easily and you can rank in page 1, but it also means that a lot of people are not searching for that product, and so it means that there is not much demand for it. A lot of people is afraid of competition, but competition is a good thing. If a lot of people are not looking for this product on Amazon, the chances of you making a sale is less. The best way to do is to find a product which is not too high in competition and also not too low in competition. What I like to do is to find something which is in between the both, something which has moderate competition. So what I do is I go to Amazon and I check for the top sellers for that product. I would look up for 10 to 15 top sellers who are selling the same product. I check for reviews, I go through their listing, I check for the pricing, I see what they have put in their listing and how it looks like and all of that. If I find these listings have 800 or 1000 reviews or over 1000 reviews, then I try to avoid them. When there are so many reviews, and especially a listing which has over 1000 reviews, then that's an indication that this product might be highly competitive and is best to move on to something else. And then there are listings which has almost no reviews or very less reviews, and that could be an indication that this product does not have much demand. So I try to find a midpoint. I would suggest you to use Helium 10 for your product research. You'll be able to find out how many monthly sales these products are doing, and that will give you more validation and clarity when you're selecting your product. Number 2 is selecting a product with a low selling price. When you're selecting a product, you want to make sure that you avoid those very inexpensive products that you see on Amazon. For example, when you're on Amazon, you'll come across these listings which are priced at $7 or $9. These are the products that you want to absolutely avoid. If you sell something on Amazon which is under $15, it will become very difficult for you to make a good profit margin. There are a lot of additional expenses that you'll have to pay to Amazon. So if you sell at a very low price, then that'll simply eat into your profits. I suggest to sell something that you can price at around $20 to $30, and then later you can increase the price as your listing becomes more established. When you're at the product research phase, make sure to take notes of all top selling products and their price range. For example, you might find a listing selling that product for $18 and another listing selling the same product for maybe $30, and then another listing selling that product for $50. You want to make sure that you keep a track of these listings and prices, and when your listing becomes more established, then you can price it higher. You can even make a better version of this product, so make sure when you're looking for your product, look for something which has room to grow. And this brings me to my next point, which is not improving your product. So what a lot of people do is they go to Amazon, they find a product that's selling really well, and then they go to Alibaba, find the same product, and then they just copy everything and then they sell it. They don't work on the product any further, they don't use their own creativity, they don't innovate it in the future. The only difference that their product and the competitor's product has is that it has their logo slapped on it. They don't think of it as a long-term business or to build a brand out of it. Times have changed, and with so many sellers on Amazon, it's very difficult to stand out. Customers also understand a lot about e-com now, so they will go and try to look for a cheaper option, and when they find it, whatever is the best price, they will go and buy it. If you don't have something in your product that's a bonus feature or something that's new and updated, then the sales and the success for this will not be that massive. It will sell, but it will not bring you that many sales that it can bring you with an updated or a better version of this product. What I'm saying is that to have something nicer than your competitors for your customers and to keep innovating. It's very important to keep refreshing and innovating because new products are coming out every day and you'll need to be competing with that. Now, having said that, please do keep in mind not to get too confused during your selection phase. I have seen a lot of people get stuck when they're sourcing a product. They try to find something that's perfect, or then they're not happy, and then they might be wanting some kind of customization which might be expensive, and so they want to save up some money for that first before they can do the customization, and then they just push away the launch and they think that once they have saved up then they will do it, and they never end up going ahead with anything. I would suggest once you're done with your research and you have found your product, try to find a better quality, a better version of it. If you cannot find it, that's also fine when you're just starting out. Once it starts selling, then you can go and see how you can make this product a better quality product for your customers. Innovating comes after your launch phase. It could be during your second inventory order or your third inventory order to your supplier. That is when you can update something or change something about your product. Another important thing is to take notes from your reviews. Majority of the times your customers will exactly tell you what they liked about your product and what they didn't like about your product. So check your reviews and also check your competitors' reviews. Take good notes and then update and innovate. Another tip that I will share is that when you're researching your product, check for your competitors' reviews. Check for what their customers like about that product and they don't like about that product. Look for 1-star reviews and look for 5-star reviews and see what the customers are saying. This will help you to source a product that the customers are looking for, and therefore this will become a product that has demand. What you simply then do is ask your supplier if they can help you out with this. You can ask your supplier if they can give you a better version of it, or if they can add a bonus something to this product which will increase the value of your offer. For example, it could be a very tiny hairbrush if you're selling hair care products. In some orders, you could also update and improve your packaging. It could be something as little as like a small card which could have a very positive and uplifting quote, and that would be a very nice experience for your customers when they're opening their package. The idea is to add value. This is building your brand's reputation, and also this could bring a lot of referral sales. Number 4 is not using or managing your PPC. PPC or pay-per-click is Amazon's advertising platform inside of Amazon, and it is something that I highly recommend to use. Especially if you're just launching, this will give your product a lot of exposure and I highly recommend you to use it. I suggest you to do your keyword research and find the ones that will work for you, that will be good for your product, and you want to make sure you're also optimizing your listing with the keywords. You must put them in both the front end and the back end of your listing, and you can also add the keywords to your PPC. This is so important because Amazon is, after all, a search engine, and your products will be only discovered through the keywords. I would suggest you to learn everything that there is about PPC ads, and then you monitor them. It's important to monitor them and keep a track, otherwise it can get really expensive. Number 5 is poor quality images and videos. Let me ask you something. When you go to a retail store, what is it that attracts you when you pick up something to check something? Well, it's mostly the packaging, unless it's clothes or shoes that's just displayed out like that. Because usually the packaging is like really nice and we are drawn towards it, and so we pick it up. For an online platform like Amazon, the only way to attract your customers is through your photos and videos. Even when you're doing PPC ads and your listing is shown to your customers, they will only click it if it looks nice and appealing. If you have taken poor quality photos with your phone, or you have just gotten these pictures from your supplier, then that will not help you in making sales. Product images and videos are all you have for you to convince your customers to buy it. They are not able to touch it or try it, So you must absolutely have professional photos and videos. Amazon is mainly about photos, but you can add videos too, and I do suggest you add a video. It could be a demonstration video or it could be an advertisement style video, but this is going to make a huge difference. I suggest you hire someone on Upwork or Fiverr for your product photography. They are not very expensive. All you have to do is just ship your product to wherever they are. And if not that, if you have a good camera or a good version of iPhone, then you can take your pictures and have them retouched or rendered in Fiverr or Upwork. There are so many people on Fiverr and Upwork who are doing this kind of retouching and rendering, and they are not expensive at all. Images in your listing should look like you are a real brand and you are showcasing your products in a professional way. If you want to make your photos and videos more engaging, then add in text of the important points of your product or caption your videos. This always looks much more promising, engaging, and appealing. Another important thing is to make sure you are constantly changing these pictures. You want to make sure you're switching them up during different seasons. For example, if it's Halloween, then you change it to Halloween themed pictures, and then you keep changing it all year long like that. Also check your images click-through rates and also change them up as per that. A tip that I will share is that you can have all your holiday photos done in one single photo shoot. Instead of doing individual shoots for each of them, what you can do is you can get all your props for all the holidays of the year, and then you can just keep switching them and finish your entire photo shoot at one time. Once you have all this content ready to go in your computer, you can just keep switching these pictures all year long. And I suggest doing at least 2 product photo shoots in a year besides your holiday shoot. I highly suggest to not hold back on investing in your product photo shoot. And number 6 is not abiding by Amazon's rules. A lot of new sellers don't understand this, but if you want to sell on Amazon, then you have to follow Amazon's terms of service. Being able to sell on Amazon's platform is a privilege and you must abide by the rules. For example, you're not allowed to have multiple accounts, you're not allowed to communicate with your customer directly, you're not allowed to manipulate reviews and things like that. If you don't learn the rules and if you don't follow the rules, then that can lead to your account being suspended or your listing being taken down or your listing being suspended. A lot of new sellers don't understand this, but Amazon will eventually find out. And when they find out, they will suspend your account, and we do not want that. That's your business, that's your company's income stream, and if they suspend your account, then that stops. So make sure to follow Amazon's terms of service. If this video was helpful or added any value, please give us a big thumbs up. Also subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in comments below if you have any questions. I'll try my best to answer most of them, and I'll see you in the next one.